It wouldn't be Christmas without this.
Ah, Slade there. Merry Christmas, everybody. Slade, named the only band I can think of, named after a prison. Is there a band called Alcatraz?
This is Peter Serafinowicz, ladies and gentlemen, who people continually point out to me as the biggest idiot in Britain, but also the only person who gets anyway close to my voice, and it is just a bit frightening there.
Yeah, it's a little bit frightening for me, too. Hearing it, seeing you there, sitting opposite me, and hearing me in my own voice. I know. Now, wait a second, I'm confused, because I don't know which is the real Terry and which is the imposter. Because I know I'm me, but...
Yeah, I don't know who I am. Who am I?
I don't know. I think you're you, and I'm me, but I know I'm Terry. But I know one of us is doing the other one.
I could be Peter Serafinowicz, if I wanted to be.
Well, so could I.
You want to hear my Peter Serafinowicz impersonation?
Well, okay then.
Well, just do my impersonation. When are you going to start doing me?
This is very surreal, isn't it?
What about a bit of music to cover our confusion? No, any chance at all. Take it if you can. Particularly this time of the year. Short commons here today, no sign of any food whatsoever. And there was some mention of beef eaters earlier on, and it's all right with the Irish beef if you're a beef eater, but that's the Queen's problem. And then I was saying, well, if they are hungry, they could always get at the ravens. Well, Alan York says the present Mrs. York got an old cookery book, which has various bird recipes. The current shortage of birds in mid-Sussex is due to her smearing the arms of the bird table with superglue and using the resulting captures to feed her obsession with all things culinary. No, listen, we're going to get nasty letters about that now. Oh, you're encouraging people to glue birds to the bird table. Apparently, we have raven for Christmas lunch. She cornered one yesterday and after a scuffle managed to stuff it. The poor thing was still coughing an hour afterwards. She can provide recipes for anything on request. Normal cooking is difficult. She's not so good in the kitchen, uses a sat-nav to find the stove. I'm looking forward to oven chips for Christmas lunch. Well, you could scarcely do better than that.
Now, Terry, I've got an email here.
Which one of us is Terry?
This is Terry too here. It's from Anthony Butcher, and it's a poem of sorts. I don't think it scans very well, but it's quite funny. I'll let you be the judge of that.
Oh, God, good man.
Rheumatic reindeer proving problematical. Oh. This year, Santa's taking a sledging sabbatical. So far, so good. And so, dear kiddies, you'll have to do with a stand-in gig by the Wogan crew, with Deadly, Boggy and Chaz as production elves, grabbing everything on the pound shop shelves. And because poor Rudolph's feeling wonky, they'll glue some antlers on Uncle Joe's donkey. With Beryl Ann newly roused from his slumbers, mixing up boys' and girls' house numbers, and with the Bolsey's sat-nav working out the route, what's bunged down each chimney will never suit. And it's 10 to 1 on before the evening's past. Up some flue, Tell will get stuck fast. So, the occupants of every other house will get the same sort of Christmas as that poor church mouse.
Do you know what it is?
What?
Somebody here has got a bad chest. All the chaps across the land waited patiently, glass in hand, for Nigella to appear and whisper secrets in their ear on how to make a luscious dish with plump tomatoes and a little squish of lime to taste and Cuban beans. But, dear listener, I heard the screams when, chorizo tight in hand, she took a knife and cut with verb straight across each Englishman's steely nerve. And off the suitors went to bed with different images in their head. Yes, I know, Nigella's having a disturbing effect on the great British public. That's from Heather Riley.
Now here, I have one with the subject, You Slay Me, S-L-E-I-G-H. That should serve as a warning. So, off again on holiday. Was it something we said? Flying off into the blue like Santa on his sled. But game old trooper that you are, you'll need to keep that sleigh for flying back to do the show. The live one on Christmas Day.
This is a foul and contemptible calumny. Which one of us is speaking now? Look, I wonder if you, the listener, can distinguish between the rather chesty version and the real.
And the real version.
Whoever the real version is. And a Merry Christmas while we're there to Laura and Julia, longing for their Christmas break. And to Peter Ford, who has had a rotten year health-wise. My own chest hasn't been the Mae West, What about yours?
Oh, my chest is fine. Is absolutely fine.
Good man. But is it on the mend in time for the party season? If you could play Perry Como's Christmas Dream, we'd be very excited. But if not, any old Christmas tune. Well, look, we're delighted to do it for Laura and Julia. Love to you. This, of course, I don't know if you know this.
What?
But this is a German song from Perry Como and features the Hitler Jugend. Stand up and salute. Wie geht es Ihnen, meine Herren und Damen? Tomorrow, Poland. That's Perry Como and A Christmas Dream. Sid's Blot currently struggling then with double-sided sellotape and brown paper.
Jojo.
Cariad, my Christmas present will be winging its way to you later today. It's a spanking brand new dustbin and a year's supply of rubbish to put in it. To crack out in it.
He's grand, isn't he?
Howdy, handsome. So, the secret's out at last. While you're enjoying your first Christmas sherry around the charred Arger at Wogan Towers, we now know that Peter What's-his-name-of-it will be doing the live broadcast on Christmas morning. Caught out at last. Since you won't be working on the day itself, do you fancy coming to my place for a schooner of British sherry and a homemade mince pie? You're always saying that you never get invited anywhere, and you'll make my Christmas wish come true. So come and make an old bird happy for a change.
I don't think that's funny.
Scotland, we've got widespread risk of ice, particularly through Perth and Kinross, Edinburgh and the Lothians, and Dumfries and Galloway as well. Accident on the M90 on the southbound side at Junction 4 Kelty. Couple of accidents have been removed, but they've left very heavy traffic. North of Congleton, A54 at North Road, that's closed. The accident still being sorted out. It's a derailment, of course. All lanes have reopened on the M1 southbound before Junction 8, Hemel Hempstead. That accident now cleared. M25 clockwise, stop go if you're travelling from Junction 25, the A10 towards Junction 26, Waltham Abbey. Road cleared after an accident, but there are still 2 lanes closed anti-clockwise. The overturned lorry between Junction 22 and 21A, St Albans, queues back to the A1M, which is Junction 23. Very slow M4 eastbound. This is 7 to 6. Slough, accidents moved off to the side, but it's still very busy. Thanks to a caller for that one. And the accident on the M3 I was talking about, it took out a lane on the southbound side at Junction 8 as you get onto the A303 towards Andover. But Yorkie says it's running fine. Our number here, 03700 100 200.
When I awoke this morning, the moon was shining bright. The air was sharp and cold again, and the frost was nicely white. But Terry, Lynn and driver Charles have once again arisen, and in the trusty routemaster to the BBC have driven to bring us all a final show of festive songs and treats. The chicken's looking nervous, because she's on the list of eats.
That is a scary impression of me that you do. That really is.
It's a kind of gift, really.
An unwanted gift. Dear sir, I am writing this missive from my office at St. Agatha's Academy while I wait for the end of term. At this seasonal time of year, I found myself single again. So, firstly, I would appreciate it if you could let Lynn know I'm free again. I was trying to extricate myself out of this plight, and I sent out invitations to my friends for a Christmas bash at Windy Towers in Hereford. I think, with hindsight, that the phrase, bring a bird, was a tad misleading, as I have had 30 replies, each saying they will be bringing an oven-ready turkey. Is it considered bad form to offer cold turkey sandwiches for Easter Sunday lunch? Worriedly, sublimely windy.
I'm feeling nothing. How about yourself?
Who was that song?
It was Keane.
Ah, Keane. I'm very keen on Keane.
Keen as mustard, and perfect symmetry. May I respectfully suggest the next time your chesticles prevent your presence at BBC Towers, the powers that be simply replace you with that nice Peter Pulatinowicz. Not only would I expect him to be cheaper than Johnny Walker, but we wouldn't notice the difference, apart from the polished presentation and the lack of complaining. As if I ever complain. Do you ever hear a word of complaint from me, do you?
I don't think I've ever heard you utter the word complaint.
Exactly, although I'm never without pain. What about yourself?
I mustn't grumble, but I do. Great news! Your application to take part in the BBC Staff Panto has been approved.
Huh?
Listen up, Tal.
That's great.
What a great idea that you and the fire starter should appear as the pantomime horse. I can confirm that you can play the front half, and Sir Terry can therefore just be himself.
That's very nice, isn't it? That's probably the best offer I'm going to get for Christmas.
I forgot to say that this is to Miss Carmen Miranda Bowles. You probably needed to know that before I started reading it.
Now tell me this and tell me no more. Will you be working over the Christmas at all?
Well, I'm doing my appearance on the Peter Serafinowicz show.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm a natural for that.
Yes, we're both in it.
Yeah.
It's on BBC Two on the 23rd, Tuesday the 23rd, at the coveted time slot of 5 to 11.
5 to 11. Sure, everybody's up then.
Yes. And it's actually repeated the next day, Christmas Eve, at midnight.
So there's no missing it at all.
There's no missing it. But it's repeated at midnight, which means that technically it's the first programme on Christmas Day.
Clinging to the wreckage as ever. Well, that was Peter Serafinowicz.
Was it?
Or was it?
No, that was Peter Serafinowicz.
Well, a happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas to you. Can I just say hello to Sam and Sarah and Ange and my mum, who are all sitting round the wireless, listening intently, trying to tell the difference.
Have they been at the sherry?
It's in the bag.
Hey, Ella Fitzgerald, Santa Claus has come to town. Thanks to Peter Serafinowicz. Phenomenal.